We got a Chrysler Sebring convertible with a 2.7 liter engine.
Got the ignition on here and got the check engine light.
Pocket scanner says P0204.
The P0204 indicates that there's a fault in the fuel injector on cylinder 4. So in order to get to that, we need to remove a number of components. Air filter box, 8mm bolt, remove this, screwdriver, remove this cover, 10mm bolt, wire connection, exhaust coming in with 8mm. There's 2 brackets to hold the exhaust from the EGR valve, remove that. 7 bolts holding this manifold in, and there's 1 manifold bolt underneath this cover here. Remove the electrical connector over here, and that's it. And here's the tools that I use here. Just an 8mm bolt, socket, and 10mm, and a screwdriver.
You have to remove 5 hoses. Remove the screw at the fastener with a flat blade screwdriver and remove the 8mm bolt at the air cleaner box. Remove the 10mm bolt holding the cover. Remove the manifold. 7 10mm bolts, loosen them. The 8 10mm bolt on the outside, remove that. Now remove the 8mm bolts. There's 4 total in the where it comes in from the exhaust into the manifold. Same on the other end. Remove the 2 8mm bolts by the EGR valve.
Okay, once you remove the 2 screws, carefully lift. You can lift this out and be careful of the washer that may fall down. Place it away. Now you could pull this side out first, and you could remove this out of the way.
Remove the 3 10mm bolts holding the intake manifold.
Okay, make sure you unplug these electrical cables here. Unplug the hoses. There's the hoses here, and there's another hose to the air cleaner valve. This little hose here.
Remove the intake manifold cover.
Remove this, slide this out of the way, slide it down, press on the tab, and then gently pull it in. Okay. On this engine, this is a V6 engine, 2.7 liter V6 engine. Cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 246. We got the P0204 code, which means this injector is at fault. So I disconnected by lifting up the red tab first and then pushing in this tab, and then you pull. So I disconnected out here. So back over here, we see an open ohm meter resistance here. So it doesn't beep on cylinder number 4, which is the first pin and hitting ground. The ohm meter will have 0, which is an open circuit, which is good. Now when I plug it back in, now when I do this and test the alt resistance, it beeps, but it looks like it's back in circuit. It's 12 ohms, around 12 ohms. While it appears that the injector is good as far as the circuitry is concerned, but we know the injector is, what we conclude is the injector is bad and it's probably intermittent. So we need to replace this cylinder 4 injector here. Earlier I did a test with the other injectors, and they were all giving the same reading, and we know that there's no short. Since I pulled this out, and I probe it again, it's an open circuit. We could also check this circuit by measuring the resistance of the main wiring, which is number 4, and measuring to ground, and there's no shorts or anything, so that means that the wiring in the harness is not shorted out or anything like that. So that's important too to figure out. So you can figure that out here. But just by disconnecting it, and it gives you a 0 ohm resistance, means this open circuit, and when you plug it back in, now it gives you the resistance value of the injector. Or you could measure the resistance from here and probe this to and probe down from here, and you probe the wire here. When you do that, you could measure the resistance, whether it works or not. Let's try that out. And it gives us 0 ohms. It beeps, it gives you less than 1 ohm, which means it's a good connection. And by us probing from here to here, and there's open circuit, and you can probe the ground wire and make sure that works also. So everything works out here. This is the important part. So we know there's no wiring faults here. So we could narrow down as the injector.
The new fuel injector is from AM Auto Part. Cover up your ports and remove the 4 8mm bolts holding the fuel rail. Remove the 10mm bolt on the side of the engine that attaches the fuel rail. Once you have removed all bolts holding down the fuel rail, gently pull it up and also release the fuel rail by the clips at the right side.
Once you got the fuel rail out on cylinder number 4 fuel injector, use a needle nose plier or maybe a screwdriver and just kind of like spit it out, like so. Move that out of the way. It slides out. There we go. And then that releases it. Clip should slide out, and then after that you should be able to kind of like twist and pull it out. There we go, and here it is. Once it's out, we got the new fuel injector here. Slide the retaining pin back on like so, with the tongue and groove matching, so it faces the right direction. Put a little white grease silicone on the O-rings, and then you should be good to go. This way it goes into the injectors easier. Okay, line it up facing the same direction, and just merely push in until it clicks on both sides.
Place it back in the ports and connect the fuel rail back into the fuel supply. Connect your 4 8mm bolts holding down the fuel rail and the 10mm bolts on the side holding the fuel rail, and everything put back together, and there you have it.